Have you ever looked at a successful brand and wondered how it all began? Today I want to share with you the inspiring true story of a man who started with almost nothing and went on to create one of the most beloved food chains in the world, Dunkin Donuts. This is the rags to riches journey of William Rosenberg. William Rosenberg was born in 1916 in Boston, Massachusetts, to a poor Jewish family. His father owned a small grocery store, and William grew up in a working-class neighborhood where money was always tight. He didn't grow up surrounded by wealth, resources, or privilege. What he did have was grit and a deep understanding of the value of hard work. He left school after the 8th grade not because he didn't care about education, but because he needed to help support his family. The Great Depression had devastated many American households, and like millions of others, William stepped up. He started doing odd jobs, delivering telegrams, working in ice cream parlors, doing anything he could to earn a few dollars. Every job gave him insight. He learned what people needed, how they behaved, and how to serve them well. In his early 20s, he started working for an ice cream distribution company, and this, though it may have seemed small at the time, became a turning point in his life. He began noticing patterns. What sold the most, which routes worked best, and what customers responded to. That experience planted a seed. Then came World War II. William worked at the Charlestown Navy Yard, repairing ships for the war effort. When the war ended, many people returned to normal life, unsure of what to do next. William Rosenberg returned with a clear vision. He had an idea, and he was ready to take a risk. With just $500 of his own money, and $1,000 he borrowed by mortgaging his home and everything he owned, he started a company called Industrial Luncheon Services. The idea was innovative. He would serve food to factory workers using mobile catering trucks. This was a time when most factories didn't have cafeterias, and workers had few good options. William brought fresh food, coffee, and snacks directly to them. He did everything himself. He prepped the food, drove the trucks, took the orders, and managed the money. It was exhausting, but it worked. The business grew quickly. People loved the convenience, and more importantly, they loved the coffee and the donuts. That's when William had another idea. He realized that coffee and donuts were consistently the best-selling items over and over again. So why not focus solely on those two products and do them better than anyone else? In 1948, he opened his first shop in Quincy, Massachusetts. He called it Open Kettle. He offered 52 varieties of donuts, an unheard of number at the time, and premium coffee that was better than what most people were used to. Customers loved it, but something about the name didn't feel quite right, so 2 years later he changed it. The new name, Dunkin Donuts. It was simple, clear, and instantly memorable. People dunked their donuts in coffee. The name said exactly what they did. The business started to explode. William opened more locations and then realized that franchising was the key to faster growth. At that time, franchising was still a relatively new idea, but William saw it as a way not just to expand his brand, but to give others the same kind of opportunity he had worked so hard for. He built a system, a model that others could follow, and invited people to become part of it. He trained them, supported them, and helped them succeed. By the mid-1950s, Dunkin Donuts had begun to spread across the country. And William Rosenberg wasn't just running a business anymore, he was building a movement. In 1960, he helped create the International Franchise Association, which still exists today. He helped define what ethical, successful franchising could look like. And while Dunkin Donuts grew into a massive global brand, William always remembered where he came from, a kid from a working-class family who dropped out of school and worked his way up, one job at a time. He faced countless challenges, financial risk, competition, long nights and early mornings, but he never gave up. He believed in the power of good service, quality products, and relentless hard work. By the 1970s and beyond, Dunkin Donuts had become more than a place to grab coffee and a donut. It became part of American culture, a trusted name people came back to every day. William Rosenberg eventually retired, leaving behind a business that served millions and a legacy that inspired thousands of entrepreneurs. He passed away in 2002, but his story still resonates. Not just because of what he built, but because of he built it. He didn't have a degree. He didn't come from money. He didn't follow a perfect path What he had was a willingness to learn, to work, and to dream bigger than his circumstances. And that's why his story matters. Because it proves that you don't need to have everything figured out to start building something amazing. You just need the courage to begin. If you have a dream, if you're struggling right now, if you feel like success is something that only happens to other people, remember William Rosenberg. Remember that he started with $500 and a vision. He turned donuts and coffee into a global legacy. And if he could do that, why not you? Thank you for watching. If you found William Rosenberg's journey inspiring, give this video a like, share it with someone who needs a little hope today, and don't forget to subscribe for more real-life stories that remind us all anything is possible. Your story starts now.